Welcome back to Inscryption. We're coming up on the end of this, the mountain pass, snowy pass, whatever it was called, it looks like. Gonna get another card. The Covetous Magpie can fetch any card in your deck. That is incredibly useful. When a card bearing the sigil is played, you may search your deck for any card and take it into your hand. Awesome. The Regal Moose. The creatures of the wild make way for it. Saw one of those before. And then a black goat. We have a black goat in a bottle. Is this a permanent? Have I been stupid this entire time? And the black goat would have been in my deck this entire time if I had used it earlier? We're gonna find out. I think I'm gonna go for the magpie just because that's very useful. Item, buff, carve. I'm gonna go for another buff. Warm light of the campfire was a welcome sight, though the 10 hungry eyes around it dampened the greeting. Warm a creature by the fire, enhance its power, said one. Why do you not want it to be you? I'm very hesitant because I don't want to be like an all my eggs in one basket kind of thing. Especially because I have a deck that is almost exclusively calling for blood. And I am playing my squirrels. I mean, there's not that much. Even if I wasn't deliberately playing my squirrels as defensive, like, attackers, you know, because they've got the porcupine buff. Even if not for that, it's hard to keep them alive very long to use as blood. I know that there's probably a bunch of people who have been watching this. Well, not that a lot of people. Anybody who has been watching this and has played the game has probably been wondering why I am not more willing to cycle out cards on the board in order to put new, fresh cards on. And I recognize that is a strategy I could be using. But, especially because my draw requires me to pick between a squirrel and another card, and the inconsistency in my deck draw, as well as the consistency of the usefulness of my squirrel draws, makes me much more hesitant and makes me more likely to go with the surer thing, because I don't know what I'm going to draw. If I gamble and draw the thing I can't use right now, whether that's because the turkey vulture costs 8 bones and I don't have those right now, or I draw something that is just not useful to me at the time and costs 2 blood that I cannot afford to pay out. In addition to not being very useful, I've also burnt a turn that could already be somewhat useful by being used as a squirrel. Does raise an additional question, actually. Earlier, in one of the earlier episodes, I noticed that there was an actual limit to my squirrels. However, that didn't happen until the enemy was out of cards. So are there as many squirrel cards in my deck as there are cards in the other person's deck? Huh. I can't see their hand. But given basically only one data point, that seems to be what is going on. Okay, so if I draw the magpie, I can pull the pronghorn or something. And I've got a couple of rather powerful cards. Why don't you want it to be you? You're a pretty good card. Do I buff the other mantis god? As one of the survivors began pulling a knife from their pocket, you withdrew. Well, I guess we'll see how this goes. Let me not be stingy with my items. A man stood before you, a man you recognized immediately. It was the trapper. You reached out to examine his wares, but he stopped you. Sorry, but today you will supply the pelts. Oh. Okay. Salutations. Unfortunately, now that I've pulled the turkey vulture and added it to my deck, I now seem to pull it all the time, which is not useful. Strange frog, leaping trap. When a card bearing the sigil perishes, the creature opposing it perishes as well. A pelt is created in your hand. In my hand or his hand? Huh. So what's interesting here is I can disarm the leaping trap with the mantis god, but then I'm taking an extra damage from that strange frog. But I think that's a fair trade, because I can take out the strange frog with a squirrel or something. Except a leaping trap went into the place of the strange frog. I don't like that. Especially it says it dies, not that it takes damage. Which is like cheating. So if every one of these frogs turns into a trap, I'm in trouble. Because it means, I mean, I can put myself into, well, actually, it might be okay. Because it means I can put myself into a stalemate with his traps in front and a load of squirrels that he can't remove. And then I can burn my squirrels for some very good cards once I'm ready. Huh. Yeah, it just dies. That's rough. So I got a pelt. But I can't sacrifice the pelt. I can disable the bullfrog with the stink bug. Which seems like the right call. Wait. Oh, the strange frog has 2 health, not 1. Okay, we've got the raven coming in. But I'm still technically have the upper hand here. Okay, we've got 2 traps. Oh, shit. He's up to 4. Shit. I might be about to lose this. I can't place a squirrel. I can't place the pelt. It won't defend against the raven. I can't place a squirrel. It won't defend against the raven. I have to pull this and hope I can pay it, which I can. For a turn at least. But it's only going to be for that turn, and then I'm still back kind of where I started. I do come out net positive with my stink bug, though. Adder is going to kill my stink bug. I have 4 bones. I have to sacrifice a blood to play the black goat. Shit. Hardbearing decision. Search your deck for any card and take it into your hand. I don't know if that'll save me. Currently, I won't lose on the next turn. But his defensive position means that anything I put down is a problem. I may have worked myself into a style of deck that is just very bad for this. I think burning the black goat is a bad idea because I could use that blood another time. At least when the adder comes in, I can block its next turn with the wolf pelt. Yeah. Oh, it does no damage. That's right, the stink bug isn't gonna die. Okay, we're cool. All right. If I draw a squirrel, I can burn both to play the magpie, but keep the black goat. The magpie itself will last for a turn against the raven. but it leaves me open to the adder again because I've sacrificed the stink bug. And we're playing with a pretty narrow margin right now. The reason I'm trying not to use the black goat is because if I can survive one additional turn and have drawn something from my... searched something out of my deck, then I can put the Mantis God or something on the field and clear 3 slots. Or at least 2. The problem is I can't do it in the same turn, because if I could do it in the same turn, then I wouldn't be worried about killing the stink bug, because I could place something in the stink bug slot, have it clear the adder before the end of the turn. But I don't want to put... if I draw something, I don't want to put it here or here, because they will immediately die. I don't want to put it here unless it can kill that turn, because the adder up against it, leaving it open to being attacked by the adder, also makes it dead. And against the raven, it will not defend. What can I do? If I could move the stink bug, I could put a squirrel against it and not be so concerned. Okay, if I do the minimum possible, I'm probably overthinking this. If I do the minimum necessary here, and I end this turn by placing a squirrel on the field, I can get up 1 potential blood. The stink bug will kill the adder. I will be down 2 teeth the next turn because of the raven. But currently I can be down to 2 teeth, right? I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure if it's 5 or over 5 that triggers it anymore. I've lost track. Now I feel again like I've made a mistake. But it will net me bones when the mantis dies. So do I sacrifice the stink bug? To kill the mantis? Or to kill the raven? The mantis will die the next turn, but then I get my bones, which I can play the turkey. Yeah, we're doing it. Okay, mantis. Goodbye, stink bug. We're putting the mantis here. It's going to clear the leaping trap and the raven. And then it's going to die to the adder. I get my bones. I can play my vulture. Currently the elk... Okay. I need to put something on the board that will kill the adder this turn. I don't want to put anything in front of it that's going to bypass it, because it will kill it back. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that can do that. Because both the turkey vulture and the magpie are flyers, I also can't pay for the magpie. I can put the wolf pelt in front of it. I can put the wolf pelt in front of the adder and block it. The elk moves up on its next turn, and if I don't have a blocker, I die, right? I need to block 2 damage versus its 4 health. But that's a losing battle for the turkey vulture, who's better used elsewhere. On the other hand, I can drop the turkey vulture into an empty slot here, not the leaping trap because it has that defense. And then I am up on the health trade. Okay, let me get... Except for the elk is going to move. So let's ignore the adder. Let's defend against the elk, force it to not move. Play the turkey vulture in an empty slot to get me my teeth. Do I bother playing the wolf pelt in front of the adder to try and maximize my teeth, net teeth gain? I think so. I think leaving in my hand is doing me no good. Okay. I can lock that elk in as long as I don't kill the adder. I can take 1 damage from the adder and care less about that as long as I'm eliminating the elk. And I'm up on health. I'm up on health. I'm building bones. I have nothing better to do here because the magpie loses versus the elk, the leaping trap. It does not kill the elk and I take damage. It does not kill the adder and I take damage, or I lose it in the next turn when it defends. Okay, we're just building teeth and bones defensively. Okay. Oh, exquisite pelts, but the cycle must continue. Right, well, we'll find out about that next time.